Hello y'all, it's the Country Notary. I decided to do a day in the life video, and hopefully some of the information that I share with you today is helpful or useful for you when you find yourself in similar situations as I did today. So I'm going to start by giving a follow-up from a video that I did a couple of days ago. Today I had my first full fee signing loan closing. When I say full fee, the fee that the signing service offered me was $175. I was pleasantly surprised, as you can imagine. First signing that I've had over $100. So yes, it is possible, and those jobs are out there. Not from every signing service, obviously, and maybe not for many new notaries. I'm still relatively new, only 3 months so far as a notary. However, the signing service sent me a notification. I clicked on it immediately. I happened to have my phone in my hand while I was walking, and within moments, I received the confirmation of the offer, as well as it was a Texas cash out. The company also paid the fee that I have to pay to rent space in a law firm. So that was awesome. That worked out great. The package was 154 pages. They had a borrower and a wife. She wasn't a co-borrower, which made it a little more, I guess, challenging, because we had to ensure that she only signed on the documents where her name appeared, etc., which is not a huge thing, because as you get into the business a little further, obviously our job is to ensure that the borrowers and the signers sign their name correctly according to the instructions on the documents, date where they're supposed to date, initial where they're supposed to initial, and don't sign where they're not supposed to sign. So personally, I flag all of my signature and initial spots prior to the appointment. That may or may not be something that I need to do for the long haul. However, in the short term, it's been very effective for me as I go back and triple check my documents to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And the flags are a great tool for that. So maybe something that you decide to utilize as well. Something that made this closing somewhat challenging. The borrower and his wife were a young couple, and they brought their 18-month-old son along with them to the signing. And as you can imagine, my concern when I first walked into the lobby and saw the baby, thinking that it would be a distraction and make the closing not necessarily make the closing go longer, because the time lasted about as long as the last cash out, a little bit over an hour. 154-page document. I know lots of loan signing agents out there could possibly whip that out in 30-45 minutes, but again, as a new loan signing agent, I take a great deal of time double checking, triple checking each page as I turn them, as well as when we're finished, I go back and check the document again. So my closings have lasted longer than an hour when the packages have been that long. So we have the baby involved as well. He was very well behaved, but of course he was a baby. He was talking, grabbing things, etc., and his mom and dad were trying to keep him occupied. And like I said, it didn't necessarily extend the time of the closing. But the reason I'm sharing that with you, I feel personally, because I do use the sticky notes. I've literally cut sticky notes into finger-sized tabs and use those to mark our spots that we have to sign, date, and or notarize. I feel because of that, it allowed me to block out the background and the noises and the baby, and literally just focus on the specific areas that we were having to sign and notarize. So not a huge distraction. However, like I said, it was somewhat of an alarm to say, oh gosh, it would have a third party along just to make it more interesting. But anyway, we made it through. I scanned the documents back, and I'm on my way to the FedEx drop in a few minutes. So I'm very pleased. Hopefully everything checked off well. In addition to that, got a call last night. A young man who works not far from my hometown needed a document notarized, an affidavit, something related to his job. He met me after the closing. I came home, scanned the documents back, uploaded them, drove about 5 minutes away from my home, and notarized that document for that young man, so that worked out great. I also asked him, this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. He Googled me. He found me on Google. I have a Google business page, which I think I'll make a video about my Google page and share with you guys the success and the results that I've received so far by basically being on Google. I always ask the client when they Google me, and when they find me through Google, I always ask, when you Googled me, what number did I come up on the list? I want to see if I'm moving up, moving up on Google, a Google list or not. And he said, I think you were one of the first ones that popped up. So he took out his phone. He goes, I think I typed mobile or moving notary or something like that. And he typed it in, and surely enough, he pulled it up, and I was number 2 on the list. So that's awesome. Because of that, I think that's a result of after helping with these general notary jobs, I've always asked the customer to give me a review on Google. I'll send them the link, and I let them know as well. It's not an automatic click and 5 stars. It requires the person to have to be logged into their Google account, Gmail, or whatever their Google account is, and submit the review. So if they're not logged into Google, I had an older lady a few weeks ago, and she goes, oh, I didn't realize it was so complicated, all this technology. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought it was just a simple click and a 5-star, etc. But it does require them to do a couple of steps. So keep that in mind when you ask a person to give you a review on Google. So I would have to say, based on that, I started my loan closing at 4 o'clock today, and I notarized that young man's document at 6:15. So in 2 hours and 15 minutes, I did 2 jobs, and I feel very accomplished. I think that was a good day. I consider that a good day for a notary, for a loan signing agent. A typical, maybe what I hope to become a typical day for me in the future. So, in closing, lessons learned. Number 1, if there are distractions at your closing, develop a plan or a system that allows you to focus on the documents at hand and block out the background distractions, because it will happen. This is not the first time I've had a signer bring their baby along, actually. Secondly, Google. Keep your Google account updated. Google allows you to post pictures, make comments, updates similar to a social media page. And like I said, in a subsequent video, in a subsequent video, I will go over how I set up my Google page and talk about some of the results and the effectiveness of being on Google. Okay, so for now, I will sign off, and I will see you later. Great luck in all your endeavors, and hope you have an awesome end of the week.